I've got one, you've got one, we've all got one, and it's nothing to be ashamed about. You know, it's that embarrassing spot, the one you keep hidden, the blemish you don't want to show anyone. Well, I think it's about time that I'm going to show you mine. I'm talking about the garden, of course. So this is the patch we're going to be working with, and you can see some things have done quite well, some things not so much. This bird's nest fern and camellia look great, yet the plants in front of me don't. And I think that's probably because we've got dappled shade from the trees, so there's going to be hot spots and there's going to be cool spots. Another thing I instantly notice is the ground looks really compacted. Even the weeds are struggling through here. So before I put anything else in that's new, I'm going to fix the problems. The soil itself, it's actually not too bad. It's quite sandy though, so it's going to be free draining and not hold on to a lot of nutrients. So the answer for a sandy soil is lots of compost. Dig that through and it helps to hold on to the moisture and the nutrients. To finish off our garden bed, I'm just putting in a little meandering path. Now, this is just going to be mulch when it's finished, nothing fancy, but it's going to allow access to the garden bed so you can do a bit of maintenance. That way, you're not going to have the ongoing issue of compaction. You can see we've mixed the compost through, so now our beds are ready for planting. But before I do that, I just need to sort out the problem with the light. And for that, I'm going to do a bit of pruning. Up in the air, otherwise known as aerial pruning. It's much brighter now we've removed those branches, and what that's done is drawn the eye to the back of the garden bed. So I'm just going to take out some of these bromeliads, which I can reuse, and I'll replant this area as well. It's going to feel much bigger. I'm going to take a look at the garden beds and work out where the sunny spots and the shady spots are. That way I can set my plants out accordingly, and I'm not going to put anything in the ground until I'm completely happy with it. I've got a combination of the winter rose, the hellebore, and the silver lady fern. And then just to add a little bit more light to it, this lovely lamium, which loves the shade and actually quite likes dry soil as well. So I'm happy with my plant set out. I've got my sun-loving plants in hot spots and my shade-loving plants in the more shady spots. It's time to get planting. In this part of the garden, we've got full sun, so I'm using these. These are African daisies, and these will flower most of the year round if you give them full sun. They go a little bit sparse if you put them in shade, so I'm giving them what they want. I really like the purple colour of the flowers, and I've tied that in with this, Laura petalum. Now, this has got a lovely purple foliage, and I love the contrast against the strobilanthes. So you can see how it ties together, but you still get contrast and interest. There are lots of spots in this garden where they've got semi-shade, which means it's not full sun and it's not full shade, and there are a few plants that do really well. This one, Eleagnus, is great for forming topiary balls and gives a lovely silver tone. To contrast that, though, I've gone for a different type of strobilanthes than the one we're using at the front. This one is gold fussia, and have a look at the colours. Now, it will flower like this all the way through winter, but then in the warmer months, it's got this lovely deep purple foliage, so it's got year-round interest. And right next to the Eleagnus, it just sings. The last plant to go in is this. This is a magnolia teddy bear. Now, this is going to give us some vertical height and balance off the Melianthus major, which is already here. Once I've got this in the ground, I'll move on to mulching. Mulching your garden bed is a really important step because it slows the water into the ground. You're not going to get the compaction that we had before. It's also going to break down and give the soil a little bit more nutrients. This also means it's going to hold the water in the ground and insulate the soil, so you're not going to have to water as much as well. Now, I know I said I was going to use mulch as a path through here, but when it came down to it, I think it's just going to look nicer with gravel, so I've got myself some pebbles. That way it gives us a bit of a definite line and a path to walk down to really enjoy all the plants we've put in. All we've done here is a bit of pruning, some soil improving, and bringing in lots of plants that you can easily find. We've done it in a day's work. We've turned an ugly spot into pride of place in this garden. We've built a show-stopping garden on a Saturday you can enjoy from Sunday onwards.